I'm a bit late getting out our 2024 garden video, so I am just going to do the best that I can. So we made some changes to the garden this year. We moved the plastic greenhouses to the other side of the garden, and we put in an actual cold frame greenhouse. And then we ended up moving the plastic greenhouses to the other side of the yard. So I like them. They were still in good condition, so I didn't want to throw them away. Now I'll show you how we put together the greenhouse and everything that we've done in the garden to get it ready for the 2024 garden season. We moved the green plastic greenhouses to the other side of the yard, and then we prepared the area for the new cold frame greenhouse, which we assembled together. It took about 4 or 5 hours in one day and probably 2 to 3 hours the next day. It was not as hard as I thought it was, and it was not as heavy as I thought it was, but it was sturdy. So once we got the greenhouse put up, I went ahead and laid down the paving stones. I personally like the look of paving stones on top of the landscape fabric, and then I filled it in. So as you can see, the paving stones didn't quite fit the full dimension, so I spaced them out to create a nice pattern. And then I came in and filled in the spaces with landscape stone. It allows water to drain into the soil beneath it. And so this is the finished product. Now, the reason I brought the greenhouse was to overwinter my citronella and my citrus plants. But since we're at the start of summer, I used it for my seedlings. And here's my setup. So I got a shelving unit that was water, that can withstand water. And then I had an old, smaller greenhouse, plastic greenhouse, that I just repurposed and used the frame. As you can see, it works really well with the seedlings. And then I brought the citronella out from inside the house and I started hardening it off. I got a new sign for the garden. And now let's take a look at how we prepared our 2024 garden. I like to take a look on the outside, my new sign, and into the garden I go to lose my mind and find my soul. Now, I know eventually I'm going to have to shore up the outside of the garden, but what I like about each start of the new season is that I get to put things in different places and see how they do. So over here, I placed the 2 cattle panel trellises that I created. Here's the raspberry vine that I interwoven. And here I got my figs, my raised bed blueberries, my strawberry, raised bed strawberry patch, and then my other raspberry, the golden raspberry. But let's take a look inside the garden. So here is my Meyer lemon, which struggled this winter, but we'll figure out what to do differently. Here I am putting in greens, so arugula, kale, collards, to see how they do in this location. I have the netting on already. I'm going to try to do ginger, lemon balm here again. And over here, I'm putting in bush beans. I'm going to put in some peas, some squash, some radishes, spinach over here. Again, things that vine, squash, peas. And then let's take a look at the cattle panel trellis that I created. I really want to see the veggies bloom and curl up this trellis over the summer. So I'll spend some time training the vegetation, and then let's see how it all ends up doing. Over here is my elderberry, raspberry, fig, putting my tomatoes and eggplant over here. Beneath is the strawberry patch, my blueberry tree, my raised bed strawberries, and then I have a raspberry in a cage. And I'm using cages this season to really contain my vegetation. And there you have it. That is our prep for the 2024 garden season. I hope you come back to see how the garden progresses